Hey again! This is not a tag but a response or the thing that I have been wanting to do for a while now. Now I have the time and opportunity to do it, and this is decks that surprised me. I saw Tom Benjamin do it and I thought it is a great idea to show the decks that surprised in person more than expected, I must say. So I usually do quite thorough research when I am looking for the decks. I watch all the flip throughs and reviews I can get, and then I also look at the images on Google Images, and then I do it again and again, and then I put it in my list that I want it, or I skip the deck. But then after a while I will go through all the flip throughs again and I usually do pretty thorough research before I get me some decks, but nevertheless some decks have happened to me. So someone, as you know, I got most of my decks via trading, and sometimes it was like okay, I have this deck also. I quickly searched and thought, okay, let's try this. So some decks have came to me like this also. For example, the Avalonian Oracle. It was a chance. I didn't even know it existed. Then I got it and it blew my mind. It's the best Oracle deck I have seen so far. It is so deep and it has made me cry in thankful and recognition tears, I must say. Like happy tears, not the sadness, but this feeling of larger image, or the truth being laid in front of you, and then you feel it with every cell in your body, and it makes you not cry, but the tears just will magically appear. This text has done it for me so many times. It's scary. And I love it for this so much. So Avalonian Oracle blew my mind, didn't expect anything of it and got everything from it. Next, similar story. I had the Dark Goddess Tarot in my list to get eventually, and then I totally stumbled upon this Shining Tribe deck, and this made it for me, because from the images this deck spoke much more to me than the Dark Goddess, but has the same vibe for me still. And when it when I received it, the the depth of these simple images is enormous, and I really love it because of that. It's deeply personal deck. I haven't and I don't plan using it for reading to anyone else, because this is like mine. So this was a surprise. I didn't know again that this deck even existed, and I'm so happy I didn't get the Dark Goddess first, because this is it for me. So the next deck, I knew it would be awesome, but when I actually had it in my hand, it was like, what the heck, even this imagery just pulls you in, pips everything, the faces of those characters, the size of the cards, the fact that I had to rehearse how to shuffle this deck for several days, and this deck is just, and it reads so beautifully, and it looks so good in spreads also, but you have to have space for the spreads for this one, because this deck is huge. So the Tarot Lenoir is the deck that surprised me and moved me more than it already did via imagery. I knew what to expect, but it was much better. So the same with the Tarot of the She. Sorry for the glare. Which I had in a trade, and then I got a opportunity to trade it for Pagan Otherworlds deck, which actually never arrived because it got lost in the mail. But soon after I got this one in another trade. It was like I knew I would get myself new copy, but it came really quickly after that. I should say week or week and a half maybe, and I was like this is meant to be. When I first went through this deck, when I got this, it made me feel those feels that I then hadn't experienced with any deck, and I just quickly went through the deck, and many of the cards made me feel grateful, and this feel of recognition, like your home, you're at home, or you know what everything means in here, and it pulls you in and speaks to you loud and clear. And this is the deck. I hold it really sacred also. Haven't used it for the client readings. I still want to hold on to this one for myself. I'm that egoistic. So I edged it red. I really edged all the black cards black before, but then I realized I like the black cards edged red better. So So I did read Tarot of the Sheep. Now, again, a deck that I thought I maybe want. Then I purchased it from Melanie, and we had a lovely transaction. And when the deck arrived, I was like, how it was in my B list even. This is so shamanic and so full of wise people, you know, like you are meeting your guides who just tell you different things every time they appear. And this is the deck. This deck is full of wise old souls, and they can't wait to speak to you. And I don't even see most of the cats in here. So for me it's not cat related at all. Not that I don't like cats, but from the name I thought the cats would be in the first place, or the, what's the word? They would be starring this deck of cards, but they are actually not. They are just co-starring. They are helping to convey the stories. And this is much more than I expected, and I'm so thankful for having it. Now, few more, bear with me. The Bosch Tarot, the quirkiness. I knew what I would be getting, but again, in person, this is so happy-go-lucky. This deck makes me laugh. This deck this deck makes my brain to unravel when I'm overthinking or having a clutter. This declutters my everything. I sometimes just go through the deck, and the little white book is full of smart quotes for every card. This is like, and I love smart quotes, and this is like super great combo for me, and I really love it. I started edging this deck. Wanted to get this black in the corners and like this old view, or the old appearance, but then I thought I want to trim the deck, and I got stuck in the minors. I actually thought I have no idea how to mark the cards for me. I don't know. I'm in between thoughts with this one, trim it or not, and therefore I'm not edging it anymore because it takes time. And last one is the deck that I absolutely didn't like, and yet I purchased it. So I have even no idea why. I just thought, oh okay, this is not so expensive, and I purchased it. And I had it. I'm not showing it. Try to guess what it is. So I had it. After I moved, I thought maybe I won't be using it, and I gave it up for adoption. And like the minutes after, I had agreed to let it go, I started thinking, maybe I should not do this, but I already promised I couldn't back off, so I did let that deck go that I purchased, but I immediately put it back in my wish list and I traded for it. And this is the Deviant Moon, and I can't even, this deck, like the Bosch deck, when it arrived, when I purchased it, I was like, whoa, this is much more than I expected, and I thought it would be creepy or dark or the type of shadow work deck that many people say use it for, but for me it's like this magical world of fun things, and the quirky details on this one, like the Bosch Tarot, helps me to unravel my mind really quickly, and readings are the best with this deck. Although I first said I won't be using this deck for client readings, yet I have totally noticed that many people that come here, or if I have my decks out, which I usually do, but they are backs up, sometimes I refresh things up and I hold them faces up, and people are like, what deck is this? This is like, this is pulling them, and at the same time is something that is a little bit scary, but so also interesting. This is interesting how people react to this deck, and this is like intriguing. You know, when the child wants to touch something and it's so interesting, but they are scared to touch it. This is what this deck makes people feel, and this is so exciting. This makes me see their stuff better sometimes. It's not, of course, for faint-hearted or the really messed up situation reading cards. Then it's something easier that must be reached for. But yeah, this deck, I had no idea. And what's interesting, the first deck that I purchased had much flimsier cardstock, and I also aged this one red, and then I traded it, and now the deck that I got in a trade, it's much better cardstock. It's sturdier somewhat, and makes it better to shuffle. For me at least, it's better. So, interesting fact. Yeah, the Deviant Moon. These were the decks that surprised me, or pleasantly surprised me, and I love them all. So, thank you for watching, and bye.